Here we go. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. There's Merles. I'm Army. We got G on the controls. Here we go. It's Game Notes Daily. We're back. And Merles, we had some interesting action right before we came on. I'm sure everybody was tuned in. That's why they're late coming into the chat. Get in the chat. Get on YouTube. Hit subscribe. Merles, G, jump on in. We got to get the reaction from this U.S.-Sweden World Championship. Yeah, there you go.
America! Let's go!
Let's go.
It was a dream game. Dream game.
Riding the eagle. Let's go.
The perfect game. I'm watching the first period. I said, this looks like they're going to just kind of play it out. It's going to be a draw. So I go on, live bet, plus 250. It's a draw. Doesn't look good. U.S. goes up 3-1. I see G. All of a sudden, I see G tweet his pick. He's got U.S. I said, I'm not dead. I'm alive. G will not win a bet this easy. It's always a sweat, like his under first period the other night was a sweat. Boom. Sweden. Carlson, our guy Carlson. He's our number 3 rated prospect from Game Notes.
He looks good. He looks real good.
He might be moving up to number 2 now. Fantilli has not looked good over there, and he took another dumb penalty today.
Yeah.
And but boom, we get the draw, plus 250. Then U.S. wins an OT. G's happy. We're buzzing.
We are buzzing early. That was literally seconds before we came on live on Game Notes Daily. Of course, I'll say it again. Welcome, everybody. I see Singsy's back. Welcome back to our boy Singsy. Got out of work today. Attaboy. That's how you roll. People are commenting. Florida's making them rich. Merles and EBR are making you rich too. Little World Championship hit right before we came on, so it's electric factory already as we head, recap the game from last night and head into Vegas, Dallas in the Big D tonight. I'll remind you once again, as everyone kind of comes in, if you want to get involved in the chat with me, Merles, and G, or even everyone else, get your bets in, get your picks in, get your comments in, interact with us. It's been a lot of fun with the chat. You got to go on YouTube, Chicklets YouTube, and subscribe, hit notifications so you can see us come up every day live at 12 Eastern noon. Is that right, G? Am I saying all that nerd stuff correctly?
You said it exactly to a T. To a T.
Let's go. Let's hit subscribe. There it is right there. Spitting Chicklets in the chat. Subscribe.
If only your bets could be as good as your YouTube call-outs right now, because you've been struggling, huh?
I got 4 kids, so that they always do fake YouTube videos and stuff. They love doing that. That's like hit subscribe, ring the bell, get the notification, smash the like button, all that. They do all that, so I just kind of I'm copying them. But a big hit by Merles, big hit by G this morning. USA Sweden. You got something for me, Mer?
Yeah, you're talking about a nerd. You're talking about nerd stuff. There's a nerd we got to talk to, but first I got to tell you about TheScore bet in Ontario. It's the best sports book for the hockey obsessed. We have daily specials from the Spit and Chicklets crew. There's all sorts of other things on there. There'll be a ton of stuff for the game tonight, but always play responsibly. 19 plus, Ontario only. If you have a gambling problem, call Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600. Score bet in Ontario, and I want to talk about another nerd that's in Ontario, Kyle Dubas today.
No. Why? What do you got to say about him? What? He came out with a statement.
He comes out with just like a statement like that after a huge talk from Shanahan. He doesn't really say too much in there. And I'm just these analytics nerds that we're not hockey guys. He tried to strong arm the Shanny, the hockey legend. Didn't work out for him.
Do you think that's what it is? I'm having a hard time reading the situation a little bit, honestly. I don't know where to go with it. And is it the negotiation? Is that what you're coming to, Merles? Is this what it's seeming like?
Yeah, he's just not a hockey guy, and that's what's happening. If you don't have these hockey people in there, you bring in these nerds, these number guys, it's not going to work. It just does not work for the league.
Here's a statement. Here's a statement from Dubas and the Dubas family. I think the bottom paragraph is mostly thanking everybody and the fans of Leafs Nation. While I understand there's interest surrounding the circumstances of my departure, I will not get into the specifics of what I consider to be reasonable and consistent but private discussions. Whoa, private discussions. Is he kind of saying like, hey, Shanny, like that was brutal? In the days that I felt I needed to assess and evaluate my own views to the future, both with respect to the necessary direction of the club and ensuring that I had the full support of my family for what I knew would be required in the off season and years to follow. The organization as is their right to do, decided to go in a different direction. And then he goes on to thank everyone else.
Yeah, it sounds like something Pasha would put together with these numbers and these analytics. I'm a feel guy. I'm a look at the guys playing. I'm a hockey guy. Years of experience. I think it was Ray Whitney said it. He had a master's degree in the NHL.
Yeah,
I like to see guys like that have the degree in hockey.
Yeah, I always say, because people hold like Harvard to high. I always say like we have a Harvard degree in hockey.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's fair to say. Now on the business side, that may be another thing, and sometimes the managerial duties. There's probably some things that you'd go, oh, whoa, that's how this works. I'm sure, but at the same time. We'll see. So Dubas is meeting with Fenway. They've granted permission or asked for permission, and the game has changed a little bit. So we're keeping track of that, obviously, for everybody and everyone in the chat. Where do you want to go first here, Merles? You want to get right into last night's game? And
I was going to say, I saw that was big on my timeline, and the second biggest thing I saw that I giggled about was Brady Tkachuk in the drinking out of the PGA Cup down in Florida. So that can lead us into that game. Did you see that?
Well, it's last year he was walking in Calgary, wasn't it last year, where he was walking up the bleachers with like beers falling out of his pockets? So he kind of tried to pull like he's like, oh, I'm cheering for Matthew, and me and our family are here, and then cut to another cut of him in Brooks Koepka's box pounding out of the trophy that he won. It was awesome. I love that guy. I love the Tkachuks.
Yeah, I swear I saw something too this year before. He's like, oh, I'm not going to be like partying like I was last year. I promise. Like, it's not going to be like that. Now look at him. We'll see him. We're going to see him soon. We're going to be down there.
We'll
get him live.
Yeah.
He got a beer sponsorship after how hard he partied in the postseason last year. He was sponsored by Budweiser at the end of it.
Unreal.
What a legend. Just for showing up to support his family and his brother. Big Walt's there. Their family's loving it. I mean, they just continue to roll. Brooks Koepka was the atmosphere there last night, though, was crazy. Did you see that video of Koepka where he's just like,
Biz wrote like Merle's at the craps or something.
Yeah, I saw someone said your buddy at the craps table. You watching your buddy play craps at 4 a.m.
Yeah, and then that's what Biz like. That's Merle's. I'm like,
hey, I got that Tkachuk video if you guys want me to play.
Oh yeah,
quick.
Let's see it. This is awesome. There you go. Everything's happening down in Florida right now. Yeah. Fans are coming out. The building was rocking, Merles. What'd you make of that too? Like the building was just rocking. First of all, like the atmosphere and non-traditional. Like Florida gets killed for having brutal atmosphere and like fan base, and a lot of nights the rink is fairly empty. But it was booming last night for the Panthers. It was rocking.
Yeah, I went to a game last year. It was in April, and obviously they were having the big season. It was against Detroit, so there was quite a few Detroit fans there, but it was sold out. It was loud. It was crazy. And then 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I went to another game against the Islanders, and it was packed and loud. Yeah. So I've had great experiences there. Obviously, it all ramps up in the playoffs. The only problem is that drive out there from the beach. For like tourists like us that are in town, we're staying at the beach. It's quite a drive out there, but once you're out there, it's a great atmosphere, and I think we're going to be there.
Wait, are you saying once you get out to Sunrise, it's a great atmosphere?
Yeah, like once you're in the rink, like you're at the. Well, you wouldn't know. You didn't get into the All-Star game because Whit lost his phone.
Yeah, I was going to say I know the Sunrise area pretty well now after spending 3 hours searching the ground for Ryan Whitney's cell phone after the All-Star game. But I think the biggest issue is like if you want to drive out 20 minutes to Sunrise, Arizona. That's fine. Like. Look how the Patriots do it with the Gillette Stadium. You drive 40 minutes out, but the reason why it's so great out there is they have Patriots Place. There's 50 bars, there's shopping centers, there's hotels to stay in if you get a little too buckled. There's none of that in Sunrise. There's a mall.
There's like one hotel. There are two hotels.
And there's no bars. Like me and Whit went to find a bar, and I think we sat at like the Cheesecake Factory. We tried setting up a Chicklets Cup over there one time, and there's just no bars or anything.
There's like a steak and lube. I remember I hit that up one night late when we were stuck out there. We got in on the road. It was like late. We got like a cab from the hotel. You know how it's like right across the street by the mall there? And we went and there's like a steak and shake or like a steak and lube or whatever. You go get like a burger and a milkshake.
You guys didn't stay downtown in Lauderdale?
We did sometimes, but more often than not, you just come in, you play, you leave, you know? So if we were kind of there and we had a day off earlier, we've stayed down near the beach and stuff, which is awesome, right? For the team on the day off, and like you eat breakfast, you're out there. That's beauty. So that's the way to do it. Actually, some of the times we've gone on like, you get like a little boat cruise, and they give you the cruise on the inner area where everyone's houses are. They're like, oh yeah, that's that guy's house. That's that billionaire's house. That's where this guy lives. You get like a little tour.
The water taxi.
Yeah, the water
taxi. I was
taxi.
trying to get us to go on at All-Star game.
That's
Nobody wanted to go. We ran out of time too.
That's awesome. I thought that was so interesting to see these people like, oh, this is where they live. And then I went fishing one time when I was there with Sid and Flower, and Mike Yo was there. And we got out there on this like fishing charter boat. It wasn't even like a great one. Steak and lure. Sigsy, welcome back. Oh my God, Sigsy. Come on, Sigsy. That's awesome. Yeah, so anyways, we didn't even get the lines in the water. I got seasick. I didn't even know what that was. It is brutal. I had to go on the other side of the boat and like lay on like an old crusty old raincoat, Merles, or like some like captain's raincoat that had like, oh, it was gross. It was
Gorton's fisherman.
And they were like fishing. They were all fine. Like Sid's from, you know.
And are you sober or are you hung?
I was sober. It was like in the morning. We just got out there.
All right.
And it was just like a morning charter kind of thing. Just go do it.
Yeah,
and
I've
you have
been
the
on
rest of the afternoon off. You can just chill, whatever.
Yeah.
I was literally with every wave like dry heaving. It was like, ugh. Like, it was relentless. Like being seasick is no joke. I thought I was gonna die. And as soon as you get into the flat water, like back to into like the, I don't know what they call it, like the bay, it was like it goes away completely. You're fine. So that was a hell that I went through for 4 hours. I stuck it out though.
That's crazy. I had a buddy that did the same thing, but he had bought the trip. So he made us go right back. We were out there for 10 minutes. He was so sick. He paid the guy even more money to bring us back quicker.
When we filmed a video in Boston a couple of years ago where we did a fishing video in the Boston Harbor, and on the way there, everyone is just super hungover, super tired. Right when we get on the boat, Biz gets seasick. Come to find out at the end, he faked sick, and he just didn't want to participate. But we're on the boat, and I'm like, all right, RA, need you to step up here. Donnie, we were with Donnie Does as well. I'm like, boys, need you to step up. Biz just went down for this video. Like, you guys are going to be the stars of the show. Donnie looks at me and he's like, we just took a bunch of acid. And I'm like, oh my God, boys. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this just took a crazy, crazy turn.
Speaking of that too, we have no clue where RA is, right? Like we haven't
Still
heard from
not
RA.
heard from
we
him.
wanted RA on the show yesterday. Still can't find RA. So hopefully, RA, if you're out there, like, you know, hit us up, right, Merles?
Yeah. Speaking of that boat trip I told you about, Miggs, the Vegas insider, he was on that trip. He was part of the foursome that we were out there, and the guy got seasick. So let's bring him in. You remember that trip, Miggs?
Which one? The Lauderdale trip?
Yeah, when we went deep sea fishing, we lasted 10 minutes. Conley got sick and paid the guy more to bring us back.
Who got sick? Timmy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Timmy went underneath. They were stuffing ice down his throat, saying, eat it.
Buddy, you get sick, though. You got to put
worst.
patches behind your ears. You got to take, like, I think, Dramamine the night before so you're set up for the next day if you're going in the morning. You got to prep. If you get hit with that, Miggsy, you there's no coming back. Once your body goes into seasick mode, you're on a ride for your life.
I wasn't seasick that trip, but first day I hit the gas hard. I was drinking double Helen Kellers on the beach, like 2 at a time. Connolly was paying the waitresses to walk us out drinks. And by the 5th day, I was like, yeah, I can't eat or drink anything. So he would
What
just
is a Helen Keller? I've never heard this.
I never
It's
Stoli vanilla and ginger ale.
Yeah. It just cripples you. And by the 4th day, I was not able to drink or eat anything, or I would get sick. And so we were at dinner, and Connolly would just order me drinks, so that he'd be like, "You're going to order drinks, but I don't care." So there's a picture. I don't know where it is. Oh, there's like 30 drinks in front of me, and I'm like completely just
you're
gassed.
pale.
Every time we drank one, Miggs still had to order and just sat there in front of him.
Sat in front of me. And
it was kind of scary though. that we drank that much, that we had that many drinks. So.
Wait.
There's a picture floating around.
Aren't you? So the first time, or the only time I went out with Sidney Crosby, they did that trick where every square inch of the table has to be filled with a drink. Did that come from you two?
That's from our group. Merle.
That's from Fort Lauderdale too.
That's
It's
from
all
Lauderdale.
It's full circle. Florida. It was called Iguana, Cafe Iguana.
Yeah,
it was
right
a
by
club.
The Marriott.
And
yeah, it's right by the Marriott. We were out on this like balcony.
Yep.
And so the waitress walks over, it's crowded, and it's me, Merle, Timmy, and Z, our other buddy. And they're like, "What do you guys want to drink?" And we're like, what are we gonna drink? And Connolly's just like, "All right, I got it. Fill the entire table with drinks. We need rum and cokes.
That's what Sid did.
Shots, and I don't want to see any table." He just gives her like $1,000 in his credit card. He's like, "Just keep it going." And it was like, all right.
Yeah, they were like, not a single square inch of this table can be seen. Every single square inch has to be covered. And I remember I came back and I told the story to Murr, and he's like, he stole that from me. I taught him that.
We used to tell every young guy, like, hey, if you ever, you're in a bar or whatever, just walk up to the bar and be like, let me get 20 beers and just put them in front of you.
Yeah, just
you will
have
you will have automatic social experience.
Yeah, that's a sick move.
That's the KG move to do. So
yeah, that is a sick move. I remember at one of my first Penguins camps, I was fairly young. Obviously, I was like, I think it was 19. First time I ever had sushi. I had sushi here, and then we went down to this like place. I don't know where it was at, and it was like I wouldn't say it was a bar. It was like a pub. It was like a small town like neighborhood place. But I went in there and like Marty Straka, that beauty, he's standing in there, full table, full of beers, totally all around, not an area on the table that you can't get a beer, just like smiling and like giving beers to other guys at camp and stuff, like just a beauty. It was awesome. I was like, that's the first time I saw that move though, Merles. That's an old timey move.
I like this guy, Chip Snyder, met ex-wife at Cafe Iguana. That place was legendary.
that place was a mess. It had the inside that had the 180 octanes drinks and everything.
Oh, Fat Tuesdays.
Fat Tuesdays.
You know those, the slushy drinks?
What a spot. What a spot. It doesn't exist anymore. They shut it down out there on Lauderdale, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's Con Murphy's now.
Last time I was in there, I ended up getting a fight with Z-Back, and then we went and got tattoos.
Yeah, I remember that.
It didn't pan out the way with waking up with 180 octanes, as Merle knows from Vegas, is not the greatest. But
I love it.
Yeah, that's a good one. I say the best guy was when we went to the island, Merle, to see Tease when he was playing down there, Timmy, and Chief had his own glass that he would bring to the bar, and it said Chief on it, and he would hand it to the bartender. He would just fill up his own glass.
Yeah, like his own, and he would just one-time beers.
Just one time.
What was it like? One of those like schooner glasses, like the big handled, like German beer?
No, it was like those tall Pilsner glasses.
Giant one, yeah.
Thin in the bottom and goes up.
It balloons.
Yeah.
It goes like up like here. Yeah, those are sick.
Pass it to the bartender and just say, whoop, one time it whoop. And I was
I had a couple pops last night. I had a quick lacrosse function for my kids' lacrosse team, and we did a trivia. Have you guys done a trivia night in a while? I got to ask you this. I don't know. It seems like an old person.
I don't mind it though.
I did one the other night for reality TV, and I crushed it.
Oh yeah, you crushed it.
Crushed it. Absolutely crushed it.
So there was some hard questions on there where like they weren't on the tip of your tongue. I was like, like old timey stuff that you really need to know. I would love like it to be dumbed down a little bit more for a guy like myself to get in there and get wheels going, or like more like time relevant. But we crushed that at this winery last night here in town. One of the kids we play with, his family owns it, and Narcisi. Shout out to Narcisi, good guy. And gave us a great food and did I never take time to do this like adult parenting stuff that you go and do these things, but I had a good time playing trivia last night. It was wild. It was a wild time. So shout out to trivia nerds out there. Like, okay, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, you're too afraid.
Me and G were on a team.
You're too afraid the switch will flip. The switch will flip. You'll have that one sip too many, and all of a sudden you're like,
you're just yelling answers out.
Yeah. Wins the car. Text Merle, be like, hey, we going to AC tonight? It's like, I'm in Sweden. That can happen quick.
Yeah.
No, he's got the casino right in Pittsburgh now. Probably 5 minutes from your house? Rivers? We went there.
Oh no.
I got carried out of there the last night of the trip.
Oh,
What was the name of the bar at Murr? We watched the Super Bowl in Pittsburgh. Is that still around?
No, it's gone. High
Tops.
Tops.
High
Yeah,
Tops.
it's gone.
That was unreal for the Super Bowl. That was
that
sick.
place is legendary.
That's a
spot.
whole nother podcast stories of that
Get into
trip.
that. We'll have story time. We'll have story time maybe
Jesus.
when you guys come out here, hopefully soon.
Well, Miggsy, I want to get to your game tonight. Obviously, that's why we got you on. Vegas Insider, just crushing it. Commanding lead 2-0. You're safe until you lose one at home. But I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on the game last night. 1-0. Bob stands on his head. Carolina's like trying to survive. Dropped 2 games at home. First game in Florida. We just kind of touched on it. Building's rocking. Miggsy, what do you take from this? Like, Canes are they have no answer.
I think it comes down every year. You see the Canes get in, they look like they're going to be great, and they just fall apart with scoring. They just do not have enough depth in scoring to get the puck in the net pass. Bob's playing great, obviously. I mean, that's a heater like that will be remembered now, but they just don't seem to have the push. They just don't have that group where it's like you almost could say Kachuk's going to be around the net. He's going to have 4 or 5 to 7 chances a game. And I just don't think Carolina has it. And then them going on the road, and they're just not a great road team. So you'd like to see him get one. I mean, Rod the Bod, like, get one. The guys deserve it. But I don't know. I don't see it.
If you're Florida, let me ask you this now too, because obviously big news last night was Barkov left the game. Excuse me. And then his coach said Paul Maurice said he went to a bar mitzvah. And he didn't want to disappoint the kid, so he had to take off for that. That was his post-game presser. So that makes sense, right? And do you sit him out? Do you sit him next game if he's like 50% and just say, hey, we're 3-0, we're up 3-0 in this series. Like, Barky, you get better. You want to, if he's good enough to go, do you go with him? Just because you don't want to, mangle that mojo that you got running with. You can lose it, I think, right? Merles, you're a big mojo guy.
Yeah. I read that it wasn't just now. It said that it wasn't too serious. They thought maybe he would come back last game, so that's encouraging. If he's good enough, I don't change the mojo. We saw what happened with Boston. They put Bergeron in. It changed the mojo. Look back at that. But at the same time, if you get the extra days, it totally depends on actually what it was. The hit they kept showing couldn't have been the injury. That little hit they kept showing on the replay?
Unless he's already kind of banged up. And he just kind of aggravated a little more where he was like, oh, shit.
But do you think also if they're watching the game tonight and say Vegas loses and now it's 2-1, they're like, all right, that series is at least going 5. So maybe then they say we can play them because we're going to get the extra rest. If Vegas wins tonight, then you're like, wow, I'd love to close it so then we can get them the rest. I think that, I mean, I'm not a lineup genius, but the way they can manipulate it's 11 forwards, 7D, 12 forwards, whatever they do, maybe they do it so in case he can go, or hey, he's going to take faceoffs, hey, he's going to get on the power play, do some shifts, but not basically log his minutes. I don't know, maybe they could do that, but I wouldn't change the mojo. You got to
just AC joint, like your shoulder,
right up here,
your clavicle.
It's painful.
That's when that thing pops off your clavicle comes off your shoulder right here, right?
Just
that
a little
sucks.
bit, and
so that's
you're
not
out
a big
couple
deal.
Days, and then you're able to play.
It sucks, but you can play. You put a little foam poofer thing over top of it, protecting it.
Those little ones, like
remember
the Crosby T-shirt he's got that.
And then you got a little bump forever. I still got mine here.
Yeah, you got that gross. Gross bump up there.
Speaking of that, whole game, I mean, Bob is just unbelievable. I've been chasing the Conn Smythe. I think he's going to get it, even if they don't win the championship at this point, assuming he keeps playing like this in the finals. It was unbelievable. So Carolina gave everything they had. I like the way Aho played. He looked like he tried to all right, I'm going to carry us through. I'm going to get us this next win. He just couldn't score. They can't score on him. Yeah. So
I look at it too. It's the post game was awesome. I thought Bob was so cool in the post game, hearing how what's this here? Caps win the President's Cup, 18 they win the Stanley Cup, 19 Bolts win this old one. 20, they win the Stanley. 21, Avs, President's Cup. 22, it's a trend right now, boys.
Hey, Andrew, where was this back when RA got his 40-1 ticket? Is this RA's burner, maybe?
Yeah, this is our. Now we found RA.
There's RA.
Find him. We couldn't find him. We found him. I also that's an amazing, obviously, trend right there for a number of years.
That's
right now.
sick. Yeah.
That's sick.
How do we not see these earlier, though?
I don't know.
Oh, God.
I don't go back far enough. I live in the
Well, now we have
man.
this show. This stuff we'll get more of this stuff. We'll get these stats during the year.
Thank you to the people in the chat.
Yeah.
Thank
Like
you. If you
and
want to get in the
subscribe.
chat, if you want to, like and subscribe. Hell yeah, Merles.
So we
Get
can do
ready.
this next
Good
season,
plug-
and we can
good
get
plug,
these stats
Merle.
ahead of time and get the 40-1 tickets.
Yep. Get on the YouTube, Chicklets YouTube, if you want to get on the chat. So me, Migsy, and Merles and G can see you guys interacting here. This is where the chat's at. It's on the YouTube page. So find that out. But
Talking about injuries, not to change subjects, but Army, let me ask you first, then we'll go to the guy. Doesn't the Murley hip back injury seem to maybe be really well timed? Because I was out here scheduling hikes for you guys. Like, I got some great hikes in Vegas, and Murley's starting to go, the back.
Dude,
He's
killing me, dude.
taking
It's
the
still
warm
killing me.
weather,
Actually,
taking the
great
warm
call.
weather option so that
is
he
it
can just
pinching?
say,
Is it
Pinching.
pinching?
It's like I stand up and everything's fine, and then like halfway to the kitchen, it's just that shooting pain.
but if you're standing leaning over a table for hours, it does not hurt, correct?
Buddy,
No, that'd be all right.
Yeah, that's good. So I'm just making sure. So when you come and we're like, hey, we're going to go do a hike. Biz wants to get some exercise and Witz wants to play golf. And you're going, man, my back, my hip. And we come back in and you're just overhanding dice.
Yeah,
We'll
jumping
say it's
around,
okay.
high-fiving
You might have
guys.
that RA back issue. You got that, what did he have?
Oh, yeah.
Sciatic. The
Remember
sciatic
his video?
nerve. Oh, you might. Are you shaking like this when you're standing there?
Jeez, yeah.
Shooting pain, though. It is brutal. It's a brutal pain. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
man,
like
it's
dig
just-
in there and do that release that like the trainers used to do.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
But yeah, I good call on that, Migsy. Great
I
call
don't
on that.
know.
Definitely milking situation. Swiss money line, Finland 3-way minus 113.
Singsy,
Singsy's.
man,
Oh
this
man,
This guy
doesn't
you got to
stop
watch
old
out for that
Singsy.
game, Singsy. Swiss is already in locked in their spot, and
call.
Latvia home team is, if they can get a point, they'll make the quarterfinals. So do
Yeah,
the
be
Swiss
mindful.
do the Swiss take a little payment and let the home team in? We'll see. Swiss has a huge winning streak too in the line in the regular. They've won, I think, 15 straight of these like round robin games in the Worlds. But careful with that game. I'm warning you. Singsy.
Did anybody take USA to score the most goals in the round robin? I mean, I didn't see it.
Gotta
but
check
it
my
must
notes.
Have been good.
Well,
Must have been good.
Merles,
I know
you weren't
took
happy.
Canada.
I hit the
Was it
draw. I
both
just
you
hit the
guys?
draw.
Both you guys, I think, were like, "Oh, this team doesn't look
You
good."
did.
Remember
They,
that?
they look terrible on paper. Right? It was all these college kids.
But they're heroes now. Like those guys don't go out. They don't hit the gas at night. So they're
Yeah,
they're at home like in their hyperbaric chambers or whatever. It's not like it's not like when you guys went, it was like beers on the sidelines. So
Yeah,
it's not
especially
like
at
that
Worlds.
anymore.
I mean, preliminary rounds is just like you
jeez.
just let it, you just have fun there, and then you get to when it counts, and then you dial it in. But yeah, keep track of that. Good point, Merles, on that. Swiss has a lot of fans there. He's all over the fan support. They're gonna win big, Sigsy. I love it. I
Wow.
love it, Sigsy. Keep it coming.
I'm pretty happy with my win today on the draw, so I'll probably sit
What
these
a
two
call.
games out. But maybe I'll see something live again. We'll see.
So let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, Migsy. Do you know why he picked the draw?
Why did he pick the draw?
inside the mind of his beast.
Because he's from the U.S., but he lives in Sweden, so he doesn't want to go against it. So he doesn't know what to do. I got a Swedish daughter, I got a Swedish wife, but I love the U.S. I'm a U.S. guy, so I wanted basically tie. There's no harm. Everybody's happy. I make a little money. It's good
Everybody
odds.
rides.
You know, if I didn't do it, then
Perfect.
obviously it's gonna happen. Yeah, I've heard
Oh.
it. I've heard it 100 times.
Migsy called it.
I've heard that exact explanation on anything that comes across our
Migsy, inside the mind of the beast. Unbelievable.
the best,
So I was going
the
to talk
best.
about like Bob's post-game comments, whatever. We can move on from there. I thought he was like, I thought he was obviously like a really humble, like I think he's a hardworking dude. I think he showed like he's got like the fight of a lion in him to come back in, and he just wants it now. He's on a mission, you could tell. And his sound last night post game was awesome, like just an awesome guy. I think he seems like a hardworking, awesome teammate by all accounts. So Credit to him.
He's not the goalie that believes in aliens, is he? Which goalie was that?
No. Who was that guy?
That was from the Flyers, too.
When he's lost in the woods.
Yeah, I played with him in Phoenix.
I thought that was. I know he's Russian. He's Russian.
Yeah,
too,
we had him
right?
on.
Brizgalov.
Brizgalov. I was thinking that last time. Like, wait, is this the dude that believes in aliens? That that behind the scenes? No. Okay, good. Yeah, Bob's playing great. I mean, like, it shows that he kind of got stung a little bit. They bring in Spencer Knight. Obviously, a lot of us thought that Spencer Knight was going to be a guy. He's going through some personal issues, and then they play Leon, and now all of a sudden they bring him in, and he's like, "My net, I got it." And you could tell the boys are rallying around him. They want to see him be successful. They know he's the key, I think, to get through this round. But yeah, it's got, like you guys have been saying, that Kings vibe with Quickie got real hot in the playoffs. They played that simple game. I mean, back then, if you remember when they were playing, they were literally, I mean, this is before the mixer statement was worldwide, but they would just come down the wing and just throw it at the net. And they just kept doing it. And teams, it just wears you down after a while. It just wears you down. And I think that's why they kind of won it that year. So you see a lot of similarities.
And to that point too, on the flip side, with all that stuff, like, I thought Brindamore looked like he sounded pretty defeated. Like, what can we do? I mean, we threw everything we could. I don't know. He had like no answers almost. That's what he said, right? He was like, I don't know what else we can do. Like, is that
they really have those last things? They outshot him 35 to 20 or something. Like they did. And then he couldn't even get the power play at the end there. That definitely should have been a penalty. He's just
Bob's going post to post, making these insane saves too. When you do get your chances in good quality spots, and I mean, you can funnel pucks. You can funnel pucks. But you're right. Yeah, I think do you think? I think we know that a goalie can kind of get in a team psyche a little bit. You start gripping it, like you said, Miggsy. You start forcing chances when you have that extra second. He's kind of changes the flow of a team's confidence, if you will, just because of how good he's been single-handedly.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you're feeling it, you just throw everything at the net. You're really expecting it to go in. It's very similar to craps. Like, that number's coming. But when you get cold, I know I'm going to lose. Like, I'll bet on anything. And I'll be like, yeah, I know I lost. Like, you just know it. And then when I think a goalie gets in your head, you maybe hold the puck a little bit longer. You're saying, man, my shot's got to be perfect. Yeah. And then the goalie's gonna beat you. And then on the power play, maybe you're not just shooting it, you're making an extra pass or whatever. And Florida thrives on that. I think that, but I mean, I'd like them to see him get back to Carolina. I think the fans in Carolina have been great all year for them. So it'd be nice to see them maybe make it a series. But
Florida's killing me. I keep going on the Canes train. I'm like, I gotta get out of my head tonight. I gotta get out of that series a little bit. I gotta stop Florida. I mean, I'm not gonna switch. I might just
that's what I did.
I don't want Florida people to be pissed at me if I jump over there. Then they lose, and then people are pissed. You know how that works too. So
you're like the captain on the Titanic. You just sat there while the water's coming in, and the orchestra and the Titanic just saying we're going.
I'm loading. I'm helping people get into boats and everything. I'm just hanging out.
I'm calling it. I'm down with the ship.
Great call, Nixon. That's
Earls is the guy that grabs the random kids. Like, get on the boat. We're going.
Yeah,
we're out of here, man.
Everyone's
I need to win.
The hurricane's coming, and I'm standing there just sucking it up. I'm the one that won't leave.
We need that memes guy to make that new meme.
With the guy who sits down with the violin.
That guy will have it here already. The guy on Twitter keeps making him.
That guy's awesome, by the way.
Something danger.
Army
that
at
guy.
The chalkboard today is hilarious.
He's coming for memes' job.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, game notes. These are game notes memes.
He's got to better have a really good name because Memesy's name is just unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, let's switch gears and let's get into tonight's game and kind of what the thoughts are here. So the series shifts to Dallas, close games. I don't know if you could say it was like the most consistent games by Vegas, but still finding ways to win and getting contributions through the lineup, which you've been talking about this entire playoff, Miggsy. What do you think changes with the Golden Knights on the road, or even Dallas getting home in this series? Next game, it's going to be close. What do you expect?
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. I mean, all their games are close. They're very similar teams. I think I was reading today some stat guy stuff, and I didn't know it, but Carlson's line, when they've been here, they've been on the ice last game 2. They were on the ice for 10 minutes out of like 14 minutes against that Hintz line. and they've done a very good job of shutting them down. Hintz and Robertson got the power play, and then Pavelski. So they've done a really great job. So it's going to be interesting to see as you move away, and then all of a sudden the last change is Dallas. And does DeBoer really try to get that line away from Carlson? Does he try to get better matchups? Does he try to, and he plays the game? And then what does Cassidy do? Does he say, you know what, we're rolling? Because it's more drastic than what they did when they play the Oilers versus Draisaitl and McDavid. They were just rolling lines. I think they probably thought like, hey, we got to roll. So I think that's going to be a very thing. But Vegas has been starting slow. It looked like almost they were a little bit like playing down a little bit, like playing cautious. If they're on the road, they got to get a lead. Try to get a lead, force Dallas like they did against Edmonton a few times, like force them to get the puck and try to make moves, and then they can counterattack. And I think that Vegas plays their best when they're just dominating the boards, getting the puck low. You saw a couple of the goals the first game of Carlson, and then obviously that huge goal with Marchessault where Marchessault said after, like, that's what we want to be doing. Like, those are our routes. That's what we're doing. Eichel knows obviously where I'm going to be, and that's our game. That's what we want to play. And I think what's been kind of the talking points around the rink is like they made it to the Cup Finals the first year, and it looked like they had a little bit of fatigue, right? They didn't really maybe grasp the moment of like, this is huge, right? They were so excited first year, et cetera. But now these guys like the Misfits that have been here are saying like, no, we know the job's not finished till the last game of the season. Like, we are in this, we're in this for the deep haul. We're ready to go. We got to keep playing our game. There's no letdowns, because if you lose one, you lose game 3, and all of a sudden it's a series. So you just got to hit the gas when you can. So I think it's going to be a very close game, very difficult. Dallas is a good place to play. I'm waiting for Ottinger to maybe let in a few weak ones. He hasn't really shown that. He could have probably had the overtime one that was a tap-in.
So this is the number that I look at right now. Obviously, it's a trend and a theme, and plus 300, I believe, is a draw. Is that still like the number?
It's probably around there. Yeah, it's always around 310, 320.
Like, would you do? Is that? I mean, 1-0 last game. It's like last night, 1-0. That game could have went to OT again. I mean, we could have I think tonight again, it's just it's a good play just because of how close these series are going to be.
It's down to plus 290 on the score bet in Ontario right now.
Yeah.
Merle moves lines. I think also, if you've noticed, this is a very clean series. There's not a lot of crap going on. Like, Stevenson had that ridiculous,
Well, have you ever heard Vegas had the least amount of penalties in the regular season?
Yeah, I've heard you guys. Biz loves that. Biz got that tattooed on it. Biz has got it tattooed on his arm. Yeah, so people see it. So no, I get it. But but just not even like, there just aren't a lot of scrums around the net. Like, you see Florida when they play, like Bennett, who's just the guy's a menace. Like, he's just the guy running around the bar throwing beers at people. But Vegas doesn't really have it. This has been a clean series, a little bit of scrum. So does Dallas try to say, hey, we got to start roughing these guys up? We got to get on Eichel. We got to try to get some things, get it to 4-on-4, see how we do, because they're not playing great 5-on-5. But again, I think if Vegas stays out of the net, out of the box, I think it'll be a close game. I mean, you kind of play to that. There's not going to be a blowout, so you tend to game plan around close games. So 300.
So are you on them again though? Are you they're going to get it done? It's going to be. Are we going to see a 3-0 series like in this one? And like, what are you looking at tonight with your picks?
I think so. This is a tough game. So I'm just going to go a little bit different. I'm going to go. I went to Vegas over 2.5 goals, which is minus 118 now. And then I'm just going to do I'm going to do a point guy. I'm going to do Riley Smith, kind of like the Misfits.
You like him?
Misfits Revenge Tour. The boys up at the rink, the Smurfs. That's kind of their call. They really like it. They say he's true. And then it was crazy to see, like, you see these defensemen that are scoring for the Knights, and Pietrangelo and Theodore don't have a goal. So I'm going to go with a sidecar, like Merle says, sidecar bet. I'm going to go with Theodore anytime goal. It's like plus 575.
Yeah.
You think about matchups. So if Theodore ends up against like a Hintz line, which is more offensive, maybe he does get that jump into a rush, and maybe he gets one because they're going to be a better matchup. So I'm gonna go that way. I think it's going to be a very close game, and I think it's this is probably the hardest game they're going to play in the series.
Yeah.
That first one on the road, Dallas is going to be jumping. Hopefully that woman doesn't sit behind their bench, but yeah.
Look at this one. Nelson Duffy, Jamie Benn over 2.5 shots on goal plus 120. Ooh,
He'll be in the mixer all night.
He's going to be in the mixer.
Yeah. I mean, I went against, we've been talking about Ottinger after a loss all playoffs, and we've crushed the score bet on that all year. I went against him at that stat and won with Vegas last game, but it's again after a loss. So he's 5-1 this playoff, something like 20-5 all season. I'm back on Ottinger. I'm back on Dallas tonight. They're at home. It's a different game than up in Vegas, and they still could have won up there. And I didn't like to hear you say that, Migs. Vegas over 2.5 goals because I'm on the under 2.5 goals. I'm on Otter. So that's Vegas under 2.5 goals minus 127. I'm on the Stars money line. And I'm on
You're going opposite? You're going opposite of me?
Yeah, you're playing with your heart. You're playing with your heart as the Vegas insider.
No, I don't like that. You went over, right? Like I think looking at this series, there's been lots of goals, like pretty good amount of goals, Merles.
No, there's been 5 each game. Mr. Ice, yeah, shout out, by the way, to Mr. Ice. He's retired, or he called the season because he knows there's no more overs left. And he called it a season.
In his prime, that guy. You kidding me?
Yeah, we're trying to get him to come on today, so he sends out a press conference.
Last game, of course, but there was 7.
Ottinger's going to have a night. I might even that you guys are chirping me, I might even go shutout plus 900 for the Otter tonight.
What's the over under straight up?
It's got to be 5.5.
5. Well, let's get you a straight
so it's
odds
averaging
right
6. There's going to be 6 goals tonight.
5.5
Well,
minus
I'll give you a
under.
stat, Army.
Okay.
The last 5 out of the 6 VGK Dallas games have gone under. So it is an under. It is an under. I was just thinking, like Merle said, bet with my heart. If Vegas gets whoever gets the 3, I think is probably going to win, right? If you get over 2.5, you get the 3. You're most likely.
It's a 3-goal league. I mean,
yeah, it seems that way now that these teams,
good teams.
You know, so I mean, I'm okay sitting it out. I'm okay just rooting it because I already got my grip on for the tables when you guys get out here.
There's
Army,
Tommy.
I got you a spray tan set up. When you get out
that
here,
dialed.
so
Let's go.
I'm looking long. I'm thinking long term.
That's why I'm on Dallas tonight. If I don't win on Dallas tonight, that means Vegas is up 3-0, and I can book my flight. I'll be there next
it's never
Thursday.
gonna happen. No
Thursday,
chance that happens.
I'll be staying in on your carpet in your room.
I already got you lined up. The Pink Whitney, the Big Deal Brews are already flying around for you guys.
I'll be doing a stand-up naked spray tan. Just getting just dialed in.
Just Superman style. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's too good to be. I'm so, I'm a superstitious person. I think we all are in this game, as hockey players. And I was like, man, I should just go bet on Dallas series, just completely mush them because there's no way I'll win. So then I'll win something. But it'll be great if you guys are out here. I'm sure the people in town, I know the guys at the rink are really pumped for hopefully you guys get out here and Vegas is in the championship. So yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, I know. Where is he? There he is. Yeah, what do we got set up? He's been booking flights like mad, this guy. I know we got to get his picks, too.
It's insane. This is the worst time of the year for me just because when it comes down to the conference finals, we get on a call and they're like, all right, we need a party planned in Raleigh, Dallas, Vegas, and Fort Lauderdale. We don't know if any of them are going to happen. We need you to book hotels in all 4 rooms, all 4 cities, book flights, but we could have to cancel it all. So it's a fucking nightmare. But we mentioned the mixer. I think Max Domi has been around the mixer a ton this series. I like Max Domi, not to score, but just Max Domi anytime point plus 110.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good one. I mean, if Dallas is going to get through, they need that line to maybe chip in one. That Ben Domi line. I think they need them to chip on. That's a good one, G.
Thanks, Migs will take care of our transportation in Vegas, so you can take that off your to-do list.
Migs, we'll be at the beautiful M Resort because it's a Penn property, so we gotta rep the M. They got a great outdoor pool area. I think
great pool, little sport book, which is really nice. They got a couple really nice restaurants. You're a little south.
How's the tables, Migs? The tables,
they're good. Yeah, they're all right. Yeah. It's a locals place. It's like the Red Rock of the South. They're all locals in there. You're gonna
what are the craps table limits? $5-10?
Yeah, you got the $5-10 during the days, Merle. You got that out there. Yeah, it's a good spot.
Game Notes Daily meetup. We'll have a Game Notes Daily meetup at the Craps.
Led by Singsy.
Earl's got a sweat going over there for the drafts. Yeah.
Well, I was trying to find something for
it's
Dallas.
Sciatic, buddy. It's a sciatic nerve.
This is the only it's the only green stuff I own, so I had to put this on, the green and black for Dallas Stars tonight.
By the way, can you imagine being Ryan Whitney's travel agent?
No.
That would be a lot.
No.
You know, he's good about
it's not
it.
fun.
Yeah, he's good. He's good about it, but you know, the Wit's got a lot going on. He's got a lot going on. So, but yeah, it'll be really exciting. I mean, Vegas is pumped. Obviously, they're big Chicklets people, so they love it out here.
It was just Chip Snyder saying go to in Fort Lauderdale, Hard Rock. Didn't Whitty jump in the fountain there? Or you did or something?
I got kicked out of there a few years ago. My 40th birthday party down there. I got kicked out.
Wasn't I with you on that?
Yeah, and then you got me back in. You got me back in and brought me into the high roller limit room because they didn't know us there because we got kicked out of the other part. So then I got crushed in there too.
That was a beating.
Merle's introduced me to those White Russians and Wilkes. They're so those things are ridiculous.
God, man, those things, forget it. That's
brutal. Here we go again. Jamie Benn over 2.5 shots on goal at 125.
Are we going to make that the in the blog?
That's a chat one. I like that one. Tommy with the T. Let's go. Get it dialed in.
What is Aiden Hill's shots? Like, isn't that something that people jump on? I've seen the chat fire that, like the saves over a certain amount, because
I can get
you know Dallas is going to be just humming tonight.
That's why I'm on. Here we go. I'll give it to you right now. Aiden Hill over 28.5 saves.
Ooh.
Game Notes Daily Meetup minus 1,000 if it's for it to happen. Let's go, everyone.
You guys better get your hydration packs ready for this if it goes forward.
Do those saves? I haven't bet saves in a long time. Does it count overtime or is that regulation only, or depends on the?
I think it probably depends on the score bet.
I haven't done that too often. I'm getting into it tonight. I remember one time I bet a penalty minutes over under in like the NHL finals one year with Caldwell, and we're sitting there yelling and screaming for like fun bunches to start, and like, oh, that's a penalty, ref. Like that was a fun way to watch. But these saves and shots are tough too, because these scorekeepers sometimes miss them, or they like, oh, is that one going to count?
Well, they don't give the shot if it's expected to go wide. So if it's going wide and Hill reaches out and palms it away, they don't count it. Which the people who bet the shots, you always hear them. They're like, "That's a shot." Like you have.
I hate in hockey. Like, how does a post or crossbar doesn't count as a shot on net? It's literally a shot on the net. It hit the net. It doesn't count as a shot on net.
Literally hit the net. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But you would expect Dallas is going to really. It's going to take Vegas. It's almost like the Edmonton series when Vegas knew like you're going to have to multiple times a game. They're going to come. They're going to come hard. They're going to be moving. So I think Vegas plays a very smart road game. Tries to maybe eke out a 3-2 win. Maybe an early special overtime. And Ben gets 3 shots, so everybody wins.
Everybody.
What's your official picks, Army? Are you going officially on the draw? Are you on the shots? What do we got?
I'd lean more towards a draw.
You're definitely.
I like the Ben shots one. And if I had to say, I don't know, I'd take Stone for a point too. Like this guy,
he's tied for the lead in points now.
Manitoba maniac. He's
got the exact same points as Eichel. Like he's got 6 goals, 9 assists. Like he's moving now, and he's like, what is he? 29 years old. Man, he looks like he's 45. Like he's
do you see his celebration when he goes by the bench?
No,
crazy. He holds his stick upside down in the wrong hand, and
he's a disaster.
He looks like a roller. He looks like he plays roller hockey out there. He's got his stick wrong-handed and everything. But yeah,
totally.
I remember last series they were talking.
He's 31. Thank you.
He looks like a 1930s guy. Like he looks 70. But I remember last time the TNT guys were saying that Dallas leaves the guy in front of the net open. That's basically Ottinger's job. And so I think Vegas has done that, like throwing the puck at the net and say, Stone, try to get a rebound and battle. You've seen that a lot, like Eichel up and down and Marshall.
He's so good, Stoney, at getting those pucks in the mixer and those little bunt passes to guys on the flanks, like well in traffic, like just awareness to know where guys are to get it out of the mixer and give guys a great opportunity. That's how that Howden goal happened in overtime. It kind of came to him, and he just kind of one touches it. He knows where everyone is in there. He's just really crafty in the mixer. getting it in the mixer, getting it out of the mixer, old the Manitoba Maniac. I just saw Laura in the chat. Shout out to Laura. She's our Game Notes legend.
Yep.
She gave us another doozy. Can we pull that up, G? Can we throw it
Monster
up there?
parlay again?
2+ shots: Johnston, Hintz, Carlson, Robertson, Pavelski, Sagan, Marcia Show plus 627. 2+
That is-
shots.
7 guys,
That
shots,
is-
7
you gotta watch
shots.
the game. You got to
This
watch
is
the
a
game
Laura.
real close. for
This
that
is the Laura.
to enjoy
Jeez.
that.
We had one. She gave
That's
us that. Remember,
serious.
she gave us that other 7-leg one. Like
Am
when
I
was
putting
that?
this
last
on
week?
the blog? Is this one going on the blog?
Call it the
You got
Laura. You
Yeah,
got to
you
call it
got
the
it.
Laura. Thank you, Laura.
I want to before I'm going to leave you guys with one thing. I think people are missed. You know how Stevenson scored, obviously, and he gets a lot of press. But the save that Aiden Hill made, like 45 seconds before that, where the puck kicked out and then they popped it, and Johnston was right in front, and he tried to bury it, and he made that great save, and the puck turned and went the other way. That was unreal. Like his confidence must be just buzzing after that. So I'll let you guys go, get back to work here, and start.
Yeah,
start,
Mickey.
start
Start the preparation. I like that you got
Yeah.
the hikes planned for Biz.
Yeah.
Find a golf course for Wit. Find me a good craps table.
Got a
Army,
craps
any
table,
special
got a-
requests out there?
Got the spray tan. Got
Yeah,
Grinelli.
spray
Got
tan.
Grinelli. Found Grinelli a super cuts out here, so I got you guys all set.
Let's go.
You guys
Migsy's
are
ass.
ready.
Sports clips.
Sports clips.
clips.
Excuse me. Sport clips. Those are the ones where you can watch your phone like between the thing.
Oh,
That
yeah.
place is great. I mean, I don't. Obviously, I got.
It's the #1 spot to get a men's cut. Migs, I did an ad read
best.
once for them. I did one once for him. I don't think it ever got used. It was the first time I ever did an ad read. He's like, yeah, we're gonna
it's
use
more
that
than
one.
you read in college. Yeah. So. But
All
I
right,
appreciate you
Migsy,
guys
thanks
having
a
me.
lot.
We'll see you soon. Hopefully, see you soon. Merle, you
Vegas
staying up
Insider.
tonight? Are you going down?
I don't know. I got to find out the daughter's school schedule tomorrow.
All right. Rest that back, buddy. We need you. We need you full tilt out here.
Yeah.
All right, boys. See you soon.
All right, Miggy. Thanks.
See you, Miggy. Yeah, what a beauty. There he is. There he goes. We got a special guest joining us quickly, right, G? Is this true?
Yes, we do. So we have Nick Maroch. I don't know if I'm saying his name
Maroch?
correctly, but Maroch. He is the bang guy, the infamous bang guy
This is for
that
Dallas.
Wow.
that from Dallas that Biz has been talking about nonstop. I think he had a little beef with RA in the past, so let's get him on here and we'll chat about all that.
So there he is. There he's
There
got
he
the
is.
coat on. He's got the jacket on.
What's going
up,
on?
Nick? What's going on? What's your day like tonight? What are you thinking? How are your stars? Are you feeling comfy? You feeling cozy? But let's get into the bang thing. You're a longtime fan, man. Like I've been seeing that, right?
Yep. Been there since 93, since the Stars have been there.
Yeah, and how did this thing come where you're just you've embraced? I guess like the fans love you there too. I see like lots of people have met you. A lot of comments about like just interacting with you and how friendly and a good a fan you are. But like, where'd this bang thing come from?
So probably as I turned 21, the boost started flowing along with the intense beating of the glass whenever opposing players would come. And so I just beat the shit out of double fist and beat the shit out of the glass. And I did that pretty much for the past about 5, 6, 7 seasons.
Yeah.
And then Jim Lights came out and said, to me, you got to stop banging on the glass. We're going to revoke your seats. So what I did was I created a sign to just restrain my hands.
Yeah.
Smart play.
I mean, one hand on the glass is better than two beating the crap out of it.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty polarizing fan to people that have never met me, basically.
Yeah.
I'm a great guy. When they meet me, they say, "Oh God, you're a good guy. Okay, cool. Nice guy." And I actually play the sport.
Yeah. Used to play. You played college, right?
Yeah, I played for Dallas Baptist University in the ACHA. Helped start that team. Actually got their first ever goal. For some reason, I was a first line winger, and then we went 0-11, of course, the first time. And what they do is, if you're a full-time student, they give you free hockey, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's cool on them. But as the years came along, obviously I dropped pretty quick in the lines. But don't know what else.
Yeah, so I got the quote, "You're the most hated man in hockey" from Paul Bissonnette, the Biz, but there's a bigger beef that I dug up between you and our other guy, RA. Do you remember all this from a couple years ago?
So whenever people talk shit about banging on the glass, I talk shit back.
Yeah.
And RA saw that, I guess. And then all of a sudden it was just a absolute shit show. And then Biz came in at the last minute, and I started talking. Him and all the Stooley, Chicklets, all those guys, like basically south of Boston. Everyone was just giving me shit, and I took it all and gave it back.
Yeah. I saw that too. Great. I saw all those comments, that little fight you had. It's great. You seem to be embraced by your Dallas fan base as a great guy, a great fan. Tell me, I've seen some pictures too, though, with you with a great one.
Yeah.
What about that relationship?
Wayne and the entire family are absolute amazing people. They're great friends. They love me. They love the Stars because of me. They know my passion for the team, and what I love for. They're just amazing people, amazing family, the greatest family, and he's such a great ambassador for the sport of hockey because you sit there and you're a diehard, Stars fan, and you play the game. You sit there and there's Wayne Gretzky right there, and in the back of your mind you think, what if he's an asshole?
Yeah. They always say don't meet your heroes, right? Because they might disappoint you. But
so in the back of my mind, that was obviously a thought, and it couldn't have been any further from the truth. And it made me love the game even more.
Yeah,
Wayne's such an amazing guy. Trevor and Paulina and Emma and Tristan, and I talk to Ty on a regular basis. And congrats to him and Sarah for having her second kid. That's amazing. Can't speak anything. They're just such an amazing family.
Yeah, they call him the great one for a reason. So a great family. That's really cool. You got to, hang out with them, interact with them, and be friends with one of the greatest players to ever strap on a pair of skates. Let me ask you, you got your jacket on, you're fucking ready to go. Your sign is probably dialed up.
Extend my screen for a second.
I don't know how to do that. Where is he? Whoa. G's working on it.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there it is. There's his seats.
That's that's Vegas right there. I'm trying to figure out how to do.
Are you going to go on the road?
Yeah, probably it sounds like I might have to go to 5 and 7.
You're guaranteeing a game 5. You're buying a ticket, so you got good vibes ready for tonight.
It's sounding like I might have to go to game 5.
All right. What's the like? We've kind of already planned our trip to Vegas up 2-0. But if Dallas can turn this series around, what do we expect like before the game around the rink? What are you doing down there? Like pregame? Is it outside? Are you in the bars?
No, I did that years ago. The dates I take to the games. We go to Town Hearth or mainly Town Hearth because it's an amazing steakhouse, and they're always great to me. And they always love seeing who I bring.
Who are you bringing tonight? Who are you bringing tonight?
Jane. She's she's an amazing girl. She's a regular on the playoffs.
All right, she's got to be good luck. I hope she brings you guys good luck. We need a long series. It looks like the Florida one's already going to be wrapped up. So I'm on Dallas tonight. I like their money line. I think Otter's going to have a big game.
We thought that game too.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you're a gambler, Nick. I think what Merles is getting at, if you are, what do you like in your team? What do you like in your team? What kind of plays you looking at tonight? Obviously, you're on the money line. They're coming home. You got your routine down. You're going to the steakhouse with Jane. Things are looking up for you for heading to the game tonight. Where are you thinking, and what are you thinking with regards to any picks for our listeners out there?
I stick with Dallas. I mean, it's the roulette bet. It's the roulette bet. You double, you hit them, and then you double. and then you double, and then you double the one more time, and then you go
Responsibly.
responsibly, for the amount of money you have in your pocket.
Yeah.
For to spend responsibly. But I mean, you double to make sure if they get that happens, then yeah. But you expect Dallas to come out. I expect the fans to be much louder than they have in the previous series because it's been pretty bad. We need them loud, and we need them screaming, worse than me.
There we go.
His voice is because of my
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. What a beast. Nick
Maruk.
Maruk. Is it Maruk?
Dallas.
Yeah, give us one goal scorer. Give us one guy who's going to score a goal tonight.
You can't hints.
Hints,
yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, hints and Otter's got to play well. He's got to play really well.
I agree.
1.5 could be decent.
Whoa. Puck line hunting for that empty netter.
And then I like to get a video of the empty netter.
There he
Plus
goes.
180. Plus 180. I'm going to put you down for that. Puck line, -1.5, plus 180.
There you go. The glass banger from Dallas super fan. I
wish I could bet in your area. I really do. But I have to resort to
other means. Yep.
Well,
yeah. Well, there he is, folks. You met him. You've only seen him. If you fight with him on Twitter, you get a #bang sent to you. He doesn't back down. He's a diehard Dallas fan for several years. Nick, thanks for joining us. I know Biz hit you up, and thanks for coming on. And that's why the league's so awesome. They got fans like you.
When am I going to talk? Is it going to have to take literally the next round to even speak with this guy?
The Biz, yeah, you only get to the minors with us. You got to make the finals to get to the big club.
I tell Prez his seat's still available. I'll kick Jane out and put Prez in. Tell him, please.
We'll let him know. That's awesome, Nick. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Enjoy the night tonight, pal, and hope your stars show up on home ice for you.
I really do as well. I mean, it's been a great series. It's just goals, bad OTs.
Yep, exactly. All right. Go get him, buddy.
Awesome.
There he goes.
That was great. We needed some Dallas talk. I didn't really know any Dallas fans. I had a Dallas Stars starter jacket when I was a kid, but I didn't know anybody.
Eric Peach says he should be banned in all 32 arenas for banging on the glass like that.
I got a question for you guys, kind of regarding tonight's game.
Acha guy.
Acha guy. You love to see the Acha. You just love to see it. I went from 6 to midnight after hearing that. But if Dallas ends up going 3-0 tonight and say both series sweep, I know the NHL has dates set in stone already for the Cup Finals. Are they going to move those dates? They're going to give these guys, 8 days off before they start up next? Because and as NHL players, would you guys want, or former NHL players, would you guys want those days off to rest and recover, or do you want to just jump right into the mixer and get back going?
Yeah, that's what I was asking about that yesterday. And the craziest thing is I would normally say, well, we'll have to wait and see what the NBA does. Maybe they'll be done or we can sneak in before they're done and steal all that. But it looks like both of those are going to be sweeps. So I don't know what they'll both do. What do you got to think as a player, Army? You played in Stanley Cup playoffs.
I would like to have some rest in between. I would, but I don't want it to be like, the Super Bowl where we're waiting 2 weeks for it to happen. I want it to, I want to give me like 5 days, tops, and then if you get the week off, like say it ends, near the middle of this week, if they want to time it correctly into the next weekend, like they did last time, like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, in that kind of range. But you can look at giving it like a 6-day breather in between there and get people fired up a little bit. Hey, I don't know. That's what I think. Give G a little more time. I just don't want to be off of it. Off of that mojo, for example, look at Florida. I don't want to be off too long where something might change or something might happen or something flips a little bit and it's so delicate maybe. I don't know. Like I just, and personally for me, skating, the high tempo, all that stuff, you're in such a zone right now that you just want to let's just keep rolling. You know what I mean?
Also, you
Let's
want to
just keep
get your
rolling.
summer started. You're like, oh man, another week down here. I want to get home.
Yeah.
I want to win this thing and get home. Have a little
Yeah.
extra time before next season starts.
Yeah.
I remember in Wilkes-Barre, we had like 10 days off in between the first and second round because of that whole play-in thing. We ended up at the pool the whole time and out at the bars. That's not good for anybody. So yeah, I would like to see him get it going sooner.
What's
But I
this?
think Dallas will stretch this out a little bit for us and won't be a problem.
Yeah. Pavelski anytime goal under 5.5. Dallas minus 1.5 plus 1,300. Big game by the Otter and Pavelski mixer goal. Army
Wow.
soldiers in chat parlay.
I like that one. I
fucking love
had
the
Pavelski in my notes. I had him in my notes. He's gonna show up in these type of games.
Yeah. I love the chat. I don't know where to go on this one, really. That's why I say draw.
You're on draw. That's how it all started. That's like you can't decide. Take the draw,
Yeah.
and then you're in it the whole time. Hopefully, it's going back and forth, and then you're alive at the end.
Yep. So there we are. G. Anything else? Anything coming up this?
I got a little. Yeah, I can save it for tomorrow's show.
These
there we
beautiful Big Deal
Yeah.
Brewing Murdered Out black hats are live now in the Barstool Sports store. You can buy them at barstoolsports.com/chiclets, and they're just incredible hats. Very durable as well.
I feel
Yeah,
like
what
that,
do you
would look,
got, Mer?
that might look good on me at the craps at table in Vegas if we get there. G, is that gonna
Yeah.
fit my big head?
You do have a huge dome,
Yeah,
Merles.
huge
Yeah.
dome. That's why I like these. This one fits me perfect. Fits my big head.
What were you going to say, Merles?
I
can't
have a
get
little thing to my nephew's going to the Stan Mikita Hockey School out in Chicago, and it's coming up in the middle of June. It's really cool. It's for kids with a hard of hearing or deaf. It's a really cool school, and it's all free for them. And it's just like you buy these raffle tickets. They're $100 raffle, and they raise I don't know what 80,000, and then they give half of it away in the prizes, and then the other half goes to pay for these kids' free hockey camp, which is kind of cool. It's its 50th
Really cool.
year. So Stan Mikita Hockey School in Chicago. It's coming up in middle of June. My nephew will be out there. He's a huge pasta guy. He loves pasta. I had a pasta send him a video, and it's really good for him because he was like, "Oh, I'm going to get to play with other kids like me that have hearing aids." It was pretty touching to hear him
that's
say
cool.
that's kind of cool. So give them a shout out. I'll put the tweet out. We got some extra money from the Sweden draw. Some EBR guys will buy the raffle and get that underway for them.
Speaking
Chuck-
of shout-outs, Merles, we got to give British Columbia a little shout-out. They got Big Deal Brew. As of this week, British Columbia finally has Big Deal Brew. We tweeted out all the liquor stores, and we put it on Instagram, all the liquor and booze stores where you can go and buy it. And for everyone asking about Ontario, it's coming soon. We're
I
working
see
on
that
it.
in the chat.
Yeah, every day I get DMs, texts, tweets, everything in the chat. We're working on Ontario. It was number one priority coming into this, but we are working on it, and it's coming soon.
And
Just like the Leafs, like nothing, they can't win forever. You can't get it in Ontario quickly. Like it's just,
Nothing comes easy for Ontario.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Yeah, that's what I should be saying.
And I seen to your big head, Merles, their big dome. Chuck Sneed in the chat. Sneed. Huge
Sneedsy?
dome because you went to RPI. Nerd.
Nerd.
Braid. Big braid guy. Oh, what a nerd. There it is.
Everything
G.
I learned.
There we go. Thanks for that awesome camp. Hope your nephew enjoys that camp, Merles. That's awesome. Hats, go check it out in the store. Beer's coming up to Canada. It's slowly leaking in there. BC, enjoy it. We got Vegas, Dallas tonight. Thank you to Nick Marook. I don't even
Bang the glass guy, I think.
Bang.
Bang the glass guy.
Hashtag bang.
All right, he's going to be rattled. All right, misses yesterday. Now we have his heated rival on
I
today.
know. That's what happens.
So, all right, we need you tomorrow, all right.
We got Wally pipped. He got Wally pipped by the bang
I got a good
guy.
guest for us tomorrow for Florida, too. I'm
So-
Florida fan tomorrow for us. We'll have a special guest, a new
Sorry,
guest.
RA.
Yep, we got a
Sorry,
new
RA.
guest tomorrow. So that'll
You're
be
out
fun.
again, RA. But that sounds good. Look forward to talking to everyone tomorrow. Thanks for everyone in the chat. And thanks to Score Bet. Thanks for Migsy for coming on our Vegas Insider. Who knows what'll happen, Merles? These series, these games are close.
I hope we get
They're
out
tight.
there. We get him on live. We
Yeah.
can have a big powwow for Game Notes Daily for the finals.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. So everybody, thank you again. The chat's buzzing. Everyone's buzzing. Singsy was back today. Enjoy the afternoon and enjoy the hockey tonight. Game 3 in Dallas. We'll see you tomorrow.